Tonight's the night.
Welcome, my fellow dark passengers, to the Kill Room Podcut. Today, it's an all brand new channel, brand new setup for Dexter. We are going to dive deep on this channel into Dexter with every episode, except for Original Bore. But I figured we'd start the Podcut out with Original Sin, and we'd talk a little bit about. I'm not going to dive deep in every episode. I'm just going to talk about it and let it be, let it sit and be, guys. So I'll be your host, Ryan. I am a huge Dexter fan. Loved Dexter since the beginning. Got introduced to it. Just fell in love with it. It's so good. Had its little bumpy stuff, but we'll talk about that and we'll dive deep. You can watch Dexter with us, or you can just listen to me talk about it, because we will be playing the episode while we discuss the episode, and it'll be kind of like a little commentary track, except for this one. This episode's going to be completely different. The first episode, I tried to shoot this podcast many times. I wouldn't say many times, maybe like 3 or 4 times. We tried to film Original Sin. We started with Original Sin, 2 episodes in, and me and a friend, and then he just decided he didn't really want to, he's out, he didn't really want to be a part of the podcast no more, you know what I mean? So, and then I watched it once as it was airing. It's kind of like a ritual, you know what I mean? Like watching Dexter, getting back into old habits. But it was just different this go around, but I watched it, and then I tried to sit and rewatch it for the podcast, and I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. And then we stopped, and then I reshot it and did episode 1. It didn't go so well. I'm going to reshoot that. And then I even shot episode 2 and 3, but then whenever I sat down to drop the footage, it just ended up, I forgot to drop it, and I thought I dropped it, so I just wiped the memory card clean, and that was my fault. So anyway, rambled on a little bit about this channel, why I've kind of hesitated on it, why it took so long, back and forth. So here we are. We're starting fresh and new with Original Bore. I like to call it, a little nickname I call it. And then the crappy thing is I express my opinion and how I feel about something online nowadays. You're all of a sudden, if you're against somebody else's opinion, all of a sudden you're a troll, you're a hater, you're rage baiting, all this, and it's just like, I'm sorry I didn't enjoy something that you enjoyed, because we're going to get into Original Bore, maybe call it inconsistency bore, or call it Harry Original Sins, because it was all about Harry. I got a little list here I made for the episode. Now, I guess before I get into tearing it apart, because it's a series that should have just been never seen the light of day. It should have just been dropped in the ocean, Bay Harbor Butcher style, let it sink and die. I'm so glad. I'm sorry for all y'all who was loving on it. I'm so glad that we don't have a season 2 coming. I wouldn't have even given it a shot, regardless, because they've already messed up so much in this. I just got a little taste, so I was curious of what they were going to do. I know that them bringing Michael C. Hall back as the inner voice for Dexter was a huge deal. Everybody loved that. I mean, that was like basically the draw-in for me. I mean, everybody was like, Michael C. Hall still a part of this? Like, yes, let's do this. Let's go. So anyway, I guess that's a list of cons, like negatives, but let's get into the pros, if this series even has any. It's got very little more cons than pros. I will say right off the bat that, like, as far as casting, because it's not their fault, they didn't write the script, it's the writers and the producers and what they wanted to do with it and go with it. As far as the performances go, I think everybody did a pretty good job. I mean, I love Christian Slater and he's a fantastic actor, but I'm sorry, Christian Slater just did not hit Harry for me. I think he might have been probably the least compared to any of the original characters. It was like a completely different Harry. But Chris Slater's a great actor, so I don't want to down on him too much, because I think he's a great actor and it's not his fault. He got attached to something. It's a job. He did what he could with it. But it's almost like you never seen the original series or watched it. And not that you need to copy or mock James Remar, but anyway, Patrick Gibson as Dexter. I thought he was a fantastic young Dexter. His performance was incredible. He did really good. I did enjoy the young Deb. She had the mouth and stuff, but I think she might have been a little bit too attractive and meaty for Deb because she was always a scrawny girl. And again, not that you gotta like everything's got to be perfect, because I think she did a great job. And I know I was like, I'm going to get into the pros, but here I am talking about mixing some pros and cons together. But I think obviously Batista and Masuka and LaGuardia, those were great casting. They all did a phenomenal job. I enjoyed it. It was just so much fun as far as like their performances go. And Masuka's laugh, his little, he had that down for sure. But I'm trying to think. I mean, they tried to make it too much like the original show, the opening, the everything like that. So like people, I think that was the reason with New Blood. We'll talk about that later. But trying to think of anything else pro wise. I mean, at some moments, I think the best standout moment for me was probably when Dexter got Harry on the table to show him his little ritual and what he does and how he's going to do it and all that stuff. So that was interesting. I don't know if you see my little needle here or not. So that was fun, but I guess I'll just go ahead and get into the cons. And what's funny is I can tie the whole series up, review the whole series in one sentence, which is actually the name of episode 5, but it's F is for fuck up. All right. And that's this whole series. That's a big fuck up because, I mean, like the theme, I mean, I don't know, just right off the gate, you got that theme song, they put that cheesy, like, I know it's supposed to be in the 90s and everything like that. Like, I know that it's not really much of a big deal anyway, but I definitely didn't like how it starts off with the New Blood retcon right off the bat, just right off the gate. And on the way to the hospital, it's just like maybe the whole thing was dumb. Dexter should have just stayed. It should have just ended with New Blood. I always say that. And we'll talk more about it when we get there, because we're going to start from episode 1, next episode, and from the pilot series, season 1. And we'll get into that and we'll work our way up to where we are today. I wasn't a big fan of Resurrection either, so stay tuned for that. You'll hear from me. And of course, I'll be called not a true fan. Like, you're not a true fan. Why not? Because I love the original series and New Blood, and that story and everything has to wrap up and there has to be an end. And anyway, moving on from that way, I'm gonna get rang out. Anybody who finds this and listening and is expecting more or wanting more, I don't know. Anyway, it's funny because he's driving all this stuff. You got to think at the end of New Blood, it was early morning when Dexter was leaving and stuff. So when he got shot, it was like early morning. So by the time he got rushed to the hospital, it should have still been daylight out, right? But by the time they get to the hospital and you see the exterior, it's nighttime for some reason. So definitely he should have been dead if it took that long to get to the hospital. I'm just saying he should have bled out for sure. Oh boy, spoiler alert for anybody who has not watched it at all, but we are where we are. It's been out for as long as it has. And if you haven't caught up or haven't, and you're watching stuff outside of not watching, because I don't understand, you just spoiled it for yourself, so that's your fault. But it's funny because so he comes back to life in the hospital room and he's like, oh, it's true what they say, your life flashes before your eyes. And of course his life flashes before his eyes, and it literally starts off at the hospital with Laura Moser giving birth to Dexter. And of course they're like, what are you gonna name him? And he's like, Dexter. It's like, of course. And then like it slowly pulls out, and then all of a sudden we're at Dexter in college at 20 years old, like bong, like smack my head, like shake my head. What the heck? If you're gonna do an original sin and you're gonna take it back and show his origins and stuff like that, but I get that they want to move on and get to the kills and not be so bored, because like they could have done so much leading up to it, and like it ends with his first kill. Like nobody would probably want that, but I mean, story wise, they could have made something work. But anyway, just you don't see none of his kid's stage life until it flashback into Harry. So it's Dexter's show, but Harry gets flashbacks, and we'll get into those because some of those flashbacks are ridiculous. I mean, right off the bat, Laura Moser, she had blonde hair in the original show. And in the show, she was brunette the entire time. Like, super big retcon. I mean, that was like, and I know people are going to be like, oh, it's just something little as hair. You look past it or get over it. And I'm just like, well, I mean, if this was a reboot or doing its own thing, it was going to start its own story and, want to make it its own, then they could do what they want. But they tied this into what it is. All right. So you got to go with what it is. And the whole, that I thought that was ridiculous that they changed all that. The first kill with Dexter and the nurse, let's just say, like, I thought it was pretty well done. It was pretty much spot on about how the flashbacks went in the original show, except for the fact that the nurse has got, what is it? She got long hair and a ponytail in the original show, but she's got her hair short here in Original Sin. So, I mean, I know it's like, oh, again with the hair, it's like it's longer, it's shorter, whatever. Whatever. It's kind of cool to see her trophies, to see that she was kind of like a serial killer, like she was taking clippings out of the newspaper for people who were passing away. So that was interesting. I mean, that was a cool little spin. Again, a little pro to the cons there, but I mean, that's not bad. Mr. Tinkers, I know when she comes in, she's like, Miss Tinkers, and like you hear all that and everything. It's great. But when she first walks in, Dexter actually, or she sees Mr. Tinkers before Dexter pops out, because he jumps out and scares her in the original flashback in the season 1 and the show when they talk about that. Episode 3, by the way, because I know my Dexter. Popping cherry. What? That's going to be 3 episodes away from now. Anyway, it was interesting. They played it off really well, except for the fact that in Original Sin, he was hiding already in the corner and then jumped her as soon as she walked in. But in the original show, it was nicer because like he just like popped out through the plastic wrap with her, and he had his needle. He had his needle. It was M99. He was ready to go knock her out. But in the show, he didn't have that yet. Retcon, inconsistency, continuity. What are you doing there, show writers? And it's funny because it's from the show writers of like the original 4 seasons of New Blood and Resurrection, and they're all just messing it all up. I don't understand. How are some of these fans seeing past this? Because they had some cool key moments or whatever, but I mean, again, it comes down to like at the end of the season, like, for real, you got the captain being the serial killer? Anyway, getting ahead of myself. So yeah, he had the M99, but in the original show he didn't. And as they fought, he actually grabs, in the Original Sin, he grabs an object to knock her out. But in OG Dexter, man, he just punches her out, bro. I mean, that's dope. But they messed it all up again. So I don't get that. And then whenever it came down to him, even before, I should have said this first, but before he even did all that and found out about it in the original series, Harry told Dexter about the nurse. He's like, I know she's drugging me and she's killing me and this and that. And he's like, I want you to stop her, But in the Original Sin, it's Dexter's idea. He's like, Dad, she's doing this. You got to have her stop. Why? I mean, there's so much wrong here, yet people think it's so good. I mean, just wait till we get to Resurrection. I call some stuff out on that one because people will love that one too. But we're gonna move right on from that. So I think there was too much Brian. The fact that we reintroduced Brian again, killing people way ahead of the ice truck killings, and LaGuerta being a part of it and not knowing who that is and connect, like, just all of it just not lining up was just. It was dumb and stupid. Like, it was literally them just trying to be nostalgic and take what was good, from season 1 and just make it their own again, because it was just ridiculous. The kills weren't right at all for any of them, except for the nurse, I guess, technically, as far as the original series goes, because the fact that Dexter still had long hair on his 4th kill. in the original show. Whenever he was killing on the original show and Harry walked in on him, that's whenever that he committed suicide after he walked in on his 4th kill. And that person, I believe, was a drug dealer, or it was the one who killed his partner or something like that. But that was the one that he wanted Dexter to take out for him or whatever. But yeah, the 4th kill, he walks in on it, but it ended up being the captain, and he was out on the river, on the ocean, doing his thing. So there was no chance for Harry to even catch that at all, which is crazy. And not only that, but no Matthews. Matthews and Harry, they go way back. They were friends. They knew each other for a very long time. You hear about it. So it also goes back to when times when Matthews has brought up some of Harry's past and stuff. Not once did he ever mention that Harry had a kid originally before Deb, and he was too busy drinking and watching TV that his son accidentally drowned in the pool. And like, so that was a whole new backstory twist on Harry, that he had a son originally that died. And then they had Deb, and also they adopted Dex and Brian, apparently, even though in the original show they never touched Brian, but for some reason they wanted to put him in this one. And yeah, it's just crazy, because then you get a little glimpse of him going after Deb again. So he tried to already kill her once when she was a baby, and tried to kill her again in season 1. It's just like, it was all over the place. I mean, don't even get me started. It's all over the place. I mean, I'm sitting here just calling out so much, and I'm just like, please let me know below, comment below. I mean, I'm right about this. You check it all out. Go back, rewatch the original show. You'll see that how much they changed, and it was retconned. Even Dexter's 3rd kill, it was a drug dealer, and it wasn't even Levi Reed. It wasn't even Levi Reed. I don't even think I put the name on here. Darn it. I did, but it wasn't Levi Reed. It was just a drug dealer. And Harry's partner was Davy Sanchez, not Bobby Wyatt. Davy's the one that got killed and re-released, and that was Dexter's 4th kill. How about the fact that Harry stopped Dex from killing at one point when he was going to kill somebody, and he stopped him? Not Deb stopping him at a party where there's tons of witnesses. Like, that was just ridiculous. I mean, there was so much wrong with it. But I mean, I do enjoy his little arcade thing. Like I said, Patrick Gibson did a pretty good job for what it was and everything, and for what they could do a good job on and everything. But it just felt like there was just so much all over the place. It just was like, what are you doing? And I mean, Harry felt like he was more against Dexter for a while, even though he was teaching him. And then yet again, where's Vogel? Because Vogel should have been in on this too. I mean, there's, oh my goodness. Original Boar, boo. I mean, I give him, at least a 3 out of 10 for effort. Maybe a 4, because Michael C. Hall was a part of it. I don't know. It really wasn't. As I said earlier in this podcast, Podcut, when we were trying to shoot this originally, I couldn't sit through it again. It's just not rewatchable in my opinion. I couldn't do it. I'm so sorry, but all I gotta say is that these producers and writers need to open their eyes and look at what they've done. I can't do it like Michael C. Hall. And look what you've done. Look what you did. But at least they canceled season 2. At least they canceled the Trinity spinoff. I don't know what other spinoffs they had in mind, but I hope it wasn't many. I'll tell you that. But there was so much that was just, I mean, as you can see here, I'm a Dexter fan. I got my blood slide box here. Well, my replica blood slide box is not fully replica. I'm still working on it, but it's just a start. I got my setup, got the knife, got the kill, the tape, the gloves, and then of course this bad boy here. For any fans that know, this is the Blu-ray box set of the full seasons 1 through 8, and it's in a blood slide box. It's very, very cool. I don't know if I'll show it here real quick. Look at that. Yeah. That's a whole, we're going to be reviewing that next. So I just wanted to get original bore out of the way, and we're going to be going from 1 to Resurrection. You'll hear my take and taste on how I feel on every episode, and we'll be watching the episode and talking about the episode, and trying not to get caught, because that's rule number 1. And so I'm excited to just kind of just skip past this, get through it. Like I said, there was so much. I don't know if I even have. I can't remember if I wrote any more else down or if there's anything else. I think I've pretty much covered everything that as far as I saw, because it was just crazy to think that all that had happened, and then we still got season 1, and it was all like, huh? And then never once was Captain Matthews referenced again, or even when Bay Harbor Butcher was killing in season 2, and we had they were like, do you think somebody would have been like another serial killer in the precinct? You know what I mean? Like, you think that might have been brought up. There's just some interesting things and some points that I think maybe could have worked, or maybe could have worked better, or if they just would have stuck to the continuity and just made it a little bit more nice. I mean, it looked good. The 90s aesthetic was very nice. I'm not gonna lie, the 90s aesthetic was very nice. They did a very good job on set decoration, on the production design, all that stuff, costumes, the soundtrack, even though I felt like sometimes it was misused, misplaced, and just all over, and just too much, and just trying to be like, hey, don't forget it's the 90s or something like that. I do love the start of episode 4, though, whenever it starts off with those people rollerblading, and it's just, everybody dance now, dun, 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 dun. They're skating down, and it's just, and then they find the body, and then it gets for real. Then it gets serious, you know what I mean? So, I really don't know what else I really want to say about original bore, because it just wasn't my cup of tea, and that's just how I felt about it. And I would really appreciate any other fans weighing in on it, and you can join us as we start releasing new episodes here very soon on this channel, and we're going to do the best to try to be as consistent as possible, because I got another podcast, Real Talk After Dark. You can check that out. We keep it real about life and film, and we do all that fun stuff. We talk about film and just keep it crazy. Now, you say we as if there's a bunch of us, but there used to be, but not anymore. But this is all new, and I'm gonna start fresh, and we're gonna make it happen. So, if you do enjoy what you heard or saw or listened to, or want to continue further on this channel, please, my fellow dark passengers, subscribe. Join us, as tonight's the night as we gain more and more and more bloodthirst and hungry for the kills. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, look at that. He's already at the kill. What about the end? Whenever he was going after the kid, like, what the heck? You going after the kid? You going after the kid, Matthew? Your own kid? And then Dexter saves him. And all of a sudden, Dexter's a lifesaver. All of a sudden, he can breathe. He's a lifeguard. He can do everything. And then another thing too with the original show, I'm pretty sure that one point, what was it, when Dexter thought he was going to be getting caught, he was talking about like doing weed, or like Dev said something like, oh, what are you doing, weed or something? He goes, no, I've never tried. Do you have some? Or something like that. And he's like, I always wanted to try. He had weed brownies in the show. So yeah, he has. That's another retcon, inconsistency, continuity error right there. There's so much throughout the whole thing. It's just, it's as a fan, obviously, it was just very upsetting and disappointing. So I wanted to get this out of the way. I tried to do this Podcut a few different times, and so I was just like, I stepped back, like, all right, maybe it's not meant to happen. I just need to take a break. I took too long of a break, because I tried to start this earlier in the year, sort of the end of the year. Resurrection is over. I was trying to get it all caught up before things happen in their own time, and you just got to work with it and go with the flow. You know what I mean? So I do hope that you all enjoyed, and thank you for your time and your love and your support. And I welcome all Dexter fans, any and all Dexter fans. Let's just keep it cool, respectful, and love one another regardless of our opinions, because at the end of the day, it's all love, baby. It's all fan base. We all love Dexter. At the end of the day, it don't matter where it goes. You know, it doesn't matter what you. Whoa, you know what I mean? I don't care. Just Dexter fans coming together, killing people. Just kidding. Not really killing people, but yeah. Thank you guys for watching and listening. I guess this is gonna be that. That's all I gotta say about that. And yeah. So with that said, we'll see you guys in the next episode.